Hello and welcome to Booze Cruise Reviews. Today we're going to do a Does It Hold Up? And what movie are we going to talk about?
Well, today we're going to talk about Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, starring Chris Farley.
The wonderful Chris Farley and David Spade.
Yeah.
A very young one.
Very young David Spade. And right away I have to tell you, growing up, I was a big Chris Farley fan. I mean, who wasn't growing up in the 90s? You know.
I will always remember that SNL, Chippendales strip.
Chippendales, Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley. Oh, it's a classic.
Chris Farley won that dance.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about Tommy Boy, a comedy classic.
It was, and to be fair, I'm going to be 100% honest, it did hold up. There were a few jokes that were like, oh, you can never do that again, but the story actually held up. It actually was a really good story.
And it's a little different. You see a lot of comedies today, and it's a lot of, they go for the extreme jokes, which honestly I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they are funny.
Sometimes, yeah.
But the plot is always an afterthought. And yes, Tommy Boy is a very paint by numbers plot. The business is going out, or the business is going under. The father dies.
You've got the one person who's kind of been mentored by the father, and the son is kind of a laissez-faire kind of person.
Tommy wants to save all the workers because he feels the responsibility, but he's not good at his job. He's got to learn on the fly. But in the end, he does it. You know, he saves the day. It's very paint by numbers. But for a comedy, they spent a ton of time building up the relationship between him and his father.
They spent a lot of time on character development.
Yeah.
You actually get to see where it's not like, within 10 seconds, two people who hate each other in the movie suddenly like each other. They built up that there was this rapport that they grew up in the same town, they grew up together, they went to the same high school. I mean, David Spade's character, when asked by Chris Farley, he's like, oh, how was the gang? He's like, I wasn't part of the gang.
Yeah.
I didn't hang out with you guys in high school.
Yeah.
But, he's like, oh, well, we all went to high school together, and as you get older, a lot of times you forget.
And by no means is it this intricate plot or anything. No, it's not a drama, but for a comedy.
Just, your business is going under.
Yeah.
Your dad married this kind of girl who's trying to steal everything from you. It's your job. You've got to do this in an X amount of time.
But I mean, for a comedy, they put a lot of effort into it, whereas today's comedies, they don't.
Yeah, I do feel like that's why I just don't like too many comedies these days. There's just not a lot of storyline. I like a bit of storyline with my comedy, where it's like, yeah, it's funny, but I can see myself in their shoes.
Yeah. Overall, for the jokes, I'd say like 98% of the jokes hold up today.
There are definitely some that just do not hold up today. And
yeah, but I'd say.
But I mean, if you take those out, the story's still there, the comedy's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of them hold up. I think because it's a lot of physical comedy, it doesn't rely on pop culture references for the most part. I think there's like one or two, but even the pop culture references they do, like the It's the End of the World song where they don't know the lyrics.
Does anyone know the lyrics to that song?
Yeah, that wasn't like everybody's heard that song. It wasn't a super dated reference. A lot of it's physical. A lot of it is honestly just quippy humor.
And I like the montage, as the car just gets destroyed on this trip. Just the montage of like how they fix the car.
And that's the comedy that still holds up. And one of my favorite parts of the movie is, after he backs the car up and he breaks the door. And then he puts it back and David Spade comes and it falls off and he turns around, what'd you do? It still holds up.
That is good, yeah.
One scene in particular, and I won't say it didn't hold up, but it changed. And when he's on the boat with the, I forget the female character's name.
But the love interest
name. And, the boat is tipped, which still is kind of funny because they play off of that, and the kids are making fun of him. I think originally when they put the kids making fun of him, it was supposed to be jokey, haha, funny. But now when I seen it, it really played off as emotional. You felt sorry for him.
Well, and true, when you watch the scene though, you saw that too. It took You know, Chris Farley's character was really trying to like get the kids to go away. He was doing his best, and the kids didn't listen to the girl who yelled at him, and it was kind of more like they respected her more than him because of. You know.
But I think back then it was supposed to be, that was a funny part, and it wasn't supposed to be as hard hitting. And for some reason today, it felt a little more.
I think we're a little bit more tuned to the bullying culture and the shaming culture, and you know, nowadays it's like you just don't do that.
And I wouldn't,
and for good reason, yeah.
And I wouldn't say that scene didn't hold up. It really changed.
It wasn't a funny scene anymore. It was an emotional scene.
Yeah, it just changed meanings. There's a few phrases he uses that definitely you couldn't get away with today in the movie. But overall, I'd say like 98% of the jokes still hold up. A lot of the comedy's physical.
And on another note, Rob Lowe holds up.
Oh, Rob Lowe, yeah. But overall, you know,
it's a good movie. I still enjoyed it. Yeah.
Makes you miss Chris Farley. You know, he had a few
he went
really
way too young.
Good hits. You know, and Tommy Boy was one of them. So if you get a chance, revisit Tommy Boy. Still really holds up.
Yeah, and tell us what you think about it. You know, if you liked it, what were your favorite parts about it? If you know, tell us if you think it still holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think, like the video.
And if you've got a movie you want to recommend for Does It Hold Up, let us know.
All right.
All right.